Today, the topic that we are going to discuss is abstraction. In Salesforce, we call it as a wrapper. In Salesforce, we call it as a wrapper. In OOPS, we call abstraction. Abstraction is the another topic. Now let's understand what is the abstraction. What is the abstraction? Ability of an object act like another object is called as a abstraction. To act like another object is called abstraction. That means if I have an object, which is where we have a different objects, okay, so method or object in a sense here method. In other word, abstract is nothing but method declared with signature without a body is also called as abstraction. In another word, object or a method is declared with signature but without a body is called abstraction. Is called abstraction. So a class that contains only variable and it does not contain any methods. A class that contains only the variables. In another word, we can call there is a class. It has only the variables in that. And does not contain any methods within that. Contain any method inside that is called abstraction. This is exactly what we have in the Salesforce is called as a wrapper. This is what exactly what we have is wrapper. Wrapper is nothing but there is a class defined inside the class or there is a class is defined. Could be possible, it could be possible the wrapper class could be there inside the another class, or could be possible that I have a separate class which is a wrapper. Assume that I have a separate class and in that class there is no methods, no business logic, nothing is there, just it has a variables. Just it has a variables. It does not have any methods. That is called as a wrapper, which is called as an abstraction. That is called as a wrapper, or that is called as abstraction. What is this means? Now, usually how we declare a class. So we declare a class using the public class, and then I'll give the class name. Let's assume that this is a wrapper class. Now I'll declare this class. Inside this class, I'll declare a variables, right? So I'll use string name, integer, salary, or let's say that I have a list of account, which is ACC. Also, I have a contact object. Now, if I do not declare a access modifier, what is it is going to take it?
Private.
Private. So I have to use it public. Why I need to use it public? Because this wrapper class does not have a logic. This has only the variables. That means somebody else is going to call this class. Somebody else is going to call this class to assign values to the variable. Somebody is going to assign values to the variable because this doesn't do anything. This part is just a declaration. This part is just declaration. Now, if somebody is calling this method, this class, wrapper class, somebody is calling it. Now, if it would have been Visualforce page, how we declare the variables? What is the way of declaration here? Let's assume that this class is called by Visualforce page. Okay. And Visualforce page is passing the data. In case Visualforce is passing the data to the class, how do we declare it? Variables.
Using set get.
Using set get. Because I need to set it, I need to get the values from Apex to the Visualforce page. Same thing wrapper. Wrapper is also need a set and get. Because somebody else is going to pass the data to this wrapper class, as well as from the wrapper class, I'm going to get the information. From the wrapper class, I'm going to get the information. So
Swapna, quick question. Will wrapper class will never have a method. It will only have variables, correct? Means that's what you're saying?
Yes, that is
You
the
cannot.
definition. Yeah. But I'll come to that point. I'll come to that point. Now we are discussing about the variables. I'll come to that part, how the method declaration is going to happen.
Okay.
Okay. So now variable declaration, we are doing it using the get set. So that means whoever is calling this class, they have to pass the values and assign the values to the variable. Right. So that's how I use it. Let's go to the developer console. Let's create the new class. CL underscore. Let's take today 0809. We are implementing the wrapper class. So I'll just give wrapper.
That one line number account, I think there is an issue with that one line, please. Yeah, account. This one, yeah.
What is the issue?
Do we need a semicolon after ACC?
Ah, right. So it does not require, because we are using the set and get.
Yeah.
So when we have a set and get, we do not need a semicolon after that. If there is no set and get, then we have to end with semicolon. Now this is my wrapper class. Now my wrapper class work is done. Now I'll create a new class, new Apex class, CL underscore, let's say 0809. Then I'll say wrapper use. I'm going to use the wrapper in this class. Okay. Now here, what I'll do is I'll declare a variable, just a variable, string n. I'll declare it. Now, how can I call this? How can I call this? Similar like a variable. How the variable declaration happens, access modifier, I'll give the data type and I'll initialize it. I'll give a variable to that. I'll give a variable to that. Same thing for wrapper class also, we can call in similar fashion. So I have to declare a public and wrapper class name. Let's give the name to that. Let's give the name to that. This is how we need to call the wrapper class. So that means here, what are the data type is there? Instead of data type, I'm just giving the wrapper class name. I'm just giving the wrapper class name and calling that wrapper class and giving the initializing a variable for that, which is a W. Right. So I can, it is similar like I can also declare it here, list of contact. Let's assume that I'm going to declare list of contact. So here, this one is primitive data type declaration. And this one, abstract data declaration. Or I can say wrapper data, and this is collection of data. This is collection of data. One is primitive data, and second one is abstract data, and third one is collection of data. Now I have this. Now I'm calling the abstract class here. Now how to use this abstract class inside the method? Let me declare a method. Public. Which type of method is it? whatever I'm writing it, which type of method it is?
Static void method.
Static or non-static?
This is
Non-static.
non-static.
Non-static method. Right. So now I have a string here. Let's suppose I'll assign a value to the n. So let's say some star IT. So I'm assigning it. Now I have an n value which is printing on it. Now next thing is that I need to use the wrapper inside this method. How can I use the wrapper inside the method? The first thing what I'll do is we need to initialize it. We need to initialize it. That means w equal to new. I'll take a wrapper class. The initialization happened. Initialization. No. Okay. Now what are the values are there in this? I have a values inside the wrapper, name, salary, contact, and contact is a single S object. Account is a list of S object. Right? List data, list collection. Right now, first thing I'll take a name. I'll give a name to this. Let's say Pete. And then I'll show you how it is going to print it. System.debug. w.name. Right? After printing the name, I'll take a salary because we have a salary also. I'll give some salary here, assume that 27,800. And then what is next one I have? Next one I have ACC. ACC is list. That means I need a list of account. I need a list of account. So multiple ways I can do it here for setting up the account. First, I need to query the data. So how can I query the data? Select ID, comma, name, comma, for example, phone, fax. I can take any fields. It doesn't matter. From account. And this is how I'm going to query the data, right? So whatever I have queried, so I'm going to put it into the list of account. Right? I'm going to set it in the list of account. Now I'll use this ACC. I'll use this ACC w.account equal to ACC. Or else, if you do not want in 2 lines, what you can do is you can take out this and add the w.acc equal to direct query. Right? w.acc equal to direct query. So what are the query that I have? I'm getting the data and storing it there. It is storing the data. Now, next thing we have a contact. For the contact, I need to initialize the contact. And in the contact, what are the mandatory information? Max of max, I have a last name is a mandatory. I don't think so any other data I have a mandatory here. So I'll give first name also. And then I have to initialize it. Now what I'm going to do is I have done the initialization and I'm going to set the value to the wrapper class equal to C1. Now let's see what is going to happen. I have not done anything here, right? I have not done much here. I have wrapper class, which is a separately inside the wrapper class. I just have a variables, right? Now here is the method. Inside the method, I'm going to I'm calling the wrapper class, and that wrapper class, what are the variables are there? Those variables I'm declaring it. Those variables I'm declaring it. Right? Now, if I try to execute it, what is going to happen? Let's see. So I'm going to initialize this equal to new class name. Initialization is done. Why do I need to initialize it here? Why
Because
can't
it is a
I?
non-static class.
Because it is a
Non-static.
non-static method. Now let me execute this. What happened now? It is giving me the only feed information. Okay, let me print all the values here. If I give directly W.
But can we not return it? Means then it would be okay, am I right? If we can just do a return.
Non-static method, can we return it?
No, void. It's just because non-static method. Yeah, you can. You just need to be not void. Am I right? If we just make it public instead of void, if we make a class without a void, then it should be able. We should be able to return. Okay, am I right?
So void does not have a return values.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So if we not just don't make it void, then we can return the value and print it.
Where you are going to print it?
When we do a return, if we can return the values, then because it is returning something, it will automatically will not come.
Okay.
Or no?
When I say return, do you mean by return is going to print the value here, or you mean to say returning somewhere else?
No, when we say put it in the inside the class, return whatever, this wrapper class, whatever we have written, return the wrapper class. When it will return, will it not? Okay, it will not print, am I right? It will just return.
It will return back to whoever is calling this method. It will return back to that method. It will not print the value here.
Okay. Correct.
So let's go ahead and execute. Now I have the values, contact, last name, first name is there, name is there, account, which I got the single list of the account data. So this everything is a list of account. Now everything is storing here, right? The data is stored into the wrapper. Now let's step back. Step back. Let's understand here. So a wrapper class, why we use it first of all. So a wrapper class is often used by the Salesforce developer. It's not for the somebody admin or client or nobody. This is only for the developers. This is only for developers for creating new objects within the Apex. Now, normally when we create an object, when we create a new object, what all things we do it? When we create a new object, we create a fields, custom fields we created as per the requirement, right? Same thing I'm doing it here. In the wrapper class, we are creating an object. Wrapper class is nothing but this is a developer object. It's an object, and inside that we are going to define a fields. And why do we need this? This is basically, it helps the developer developers consolidating the set of different fields. Set of different fields. So when I say set of different fields, could be possible that they belong to same object or they belong to different object. Or not. I'll give a couple of examples. Why do we need a wrapper? Now, for example, I have an account object. Okay. On the account object, what are the fields I have? Let's assume that I have a billing city, right? Postal code, postcode, and the email. Okay. And also I need a contact information. And also I need related opportunity information. And there are some custom variables I have. So this is my scenario, custom variables I have. This is my scenario. I wanted to store all of this information inside somewhere in one of the object. Because my entire logic is going to the logic or the implementation, whatever we have, it is like probably the logic is a very difficult where I wanted to store couple of information from the account and related contact records, not all the fields, only specific fields for now, and opportunity specific fields, and then custom variables I wanted to have. So this is my requirement. I wanted to store all this information inside an object. In case if I want inside an object, then I'll usually what I'll do is I'll create a custom object, which is called as a developer object. Which is called as a developer object. Inside the developer object, I'll create a custom fields. I'll create a custom fields, which is a lookup to the account, lookup to the contact, lookup to the opportunity, and then I'll have my own custom variables or custom fields are there. Right, this is how I create it. But is it any use? Is it any use for the end user? Does end user need this custom object information? They do not need it, right? So also I'm wasting unnecessarily creating the one object here because customer does not require, admin team does not require, reporting purpose it is not required, only for coding purpose, only for technical people, we need an object. Now, instead of wasting of creating a one object, what we do is a developer always prefer to create something inside the code. Developer always prefer to create something inside the code, which is nothing but we named it as a wrapper class. We named it as a wrapper class. So here are some of major advantages of effectively using the wrapper class in Salesforce by developers is the structure of wrapper class. It is the structure of the wrapper class. It is everything depending on the developer. How do I want my object? How do I want my wrapper class? Developer can decide it. They have a full control on this to decide the structure of the wrapper class. Structure of wrapper class. And they decide structure of the wrapper class and also what are the fields that is going to store inside this object. Whatever the fields that needs to store inside the object, we do not need any permission from anybody. Developer does not require any permission. Should I create a field or not? Does not require. Developer will have a full access of creating the fields inside this. That means variables. Full access is there to create a variables inside the wrapper class. You can create whatever the variables we want. Right? And how the data is going to store inside the wrapper class is basically the data whenever I pass to the wrapper class, it stores into the JSON structure. It stores into the JSON structure. Now, if you see the output, now right now we have seen the output, right? So everything, it will be stored into the JSON structure. Also, one of the benefit for this is using the wrapper classes. Wrapper class makes the process of managing relationship between the different object is easier for the developer. You need not to worry whether should I need to implement a master detail, whether I need to implement a lookup, whether I need to implement a junction, all kind of a relations developer need not to worry. So wrapper class makes the process of managing the relationship between different object is easier.
Can you please elaborate when you say the relationship easier? How does, like, what does it exactly means?
Okay. Now coming to this scenario. Okay. When, for example, you are creating the object, developer object. Now I have a data that I need to pull it for the account, contact, opportunity, right? Now,
Yes.
when you have to do it this, the first thing is that you need to, because this is going to visible for everybody. Now you need to decide which one should go for the lookup, which one should go for the master detail. You need to decide here. Because the field level you are going to look for, there are two types of the data types we can have, lookup and master. If you are going
When
with
we creating a custom object, correct? If we create a custom
yeah,
object.
if we create
Okay.
a custom object.
Mhm.
But when it goes to the wrapper class, now he does not need to think on this relation. Get me the account ID. Okay, get me the account details. And when the person is getting the account details, definitely he will be having the ID. I need not to build a separately new relationship here. Now using the ID, I can pull the contact. Using the ID, I can pull the opportunity. And if any other information is there, I can pull it. Now I'm not building any new relationship here inside the wrapper class. Just by using the account ID, I'm getting the related information which is already exist in the system.
Makes sense. Okay. The relationship, if already existing in the system, it's made the process of getting it easier.
Yes. Right. So, so basically the wrapper class helps the developer in organizing the whatever the data that is there. They can organize it the way the developer need it. So whatever, whether they want a nested or they wanted a list collection or they wanted a primitive data type or they wanted in any other format, the developer can decide it and place the entire structure inside this wrapper class. And the data is going to store it in the JSON structure. Now let's see new, let's take the requirement. So I have, for example, here, two tables I have. Okay, the requirements, I have two tables. And what is this table is all about is this is also account information. This is also account information. Okay. You guys are aware of the multi-select?
Yeah.
Multi-select, right? So for now, this table, whatever the starting table I'm showing here, this will give me the list of the records. On load of the Visualforce page, it is going to give me the, assume that 10 records, I'm going to get it here. 10 records, I'm going to get it. Okay. So this 10 records, what are the 10 records are there? Probably I'll get the account name, phone number, billing city. That's it. 3 information should be enough. So account number, phone number, and billing city, these 3 I'm going to select. Now on top, I have a button called, assume that this button name is selected accounts. Now, as soon as I select this account, as soon as I select any of the account, okay, for example, I have selected the 2 accounts and I clicked on this button. As soon as I clicked on, it should move to in another table. If I select one record should be moved here. If I select multiple records, all multiple records should be moved with the same structure. Account name, phone number, billing city, billing city. So this is what I'm going to implement it using the Visualforce page. So this is the Visualforce page. In the Visualforce page, I have two tables are there. This is one table. This is second table. In second table, I'm not printing anything on loading. On first table, I'm going to display the 10 records. How I'm going to display the 10 records? The first table is going to call the apex. From the apex, I'm going to get the information to the first table and display the information on first table. Now, as soon as I select this and click on the selected accounts, then this selected accounts is also going to call the apex method, and inside this method, whatever are there, then it is going to put the information here. Now, what all actions here it should happen? First thing is on loading, I need to show the 10 records. That is the first thing.
In this way, quickly, can we have a scenario where selecting an account, we can show all the opportunities related or the contacts related to that account on the second table?
We'll come to that because there are members who are not very new to this.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so here we have a account number, account name, phone number, fax, billing city is there. Now, first step is that I'm showing the 10 records. Second step, I'm selecting the each record. So when we are selecting the each record, I need to capture what are the records that are selected. I need to capture this information. Which all the records are selected by user, I need to capture. How I'm going to capture? I'm going to capture and keep it in somewhere inside the apex. Now, when I click on a selected account, what it is going to happen? It is going to display the information. As soon as I click on selected account, it will go to the apex, and whatever the data is selected, somewhere I'm storing it here, right? So it will take that data and give it back to the selected accounts. Now, selected accounts is going to show the information to the second table. Clear everybody requirement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Raj, Sadashiv, are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we are going to do it. Now let's go and implement a Visualforce page. File new. Let's take this is Apex. First thing, we are going to create a Visualforce page. So let's take a VF _ 0809. Now, what are we implementing? We are implementing the wrapper VF. Okay. Now let's do the design part first, then we will go to the logic. The design part is 2 tables. I have to implement 2 tables. Do I have any input that I'm going to expect it from the user?
No.
Input text is not there, but is there anything that I'm expecting from the user?
Yeah, the checkbox, selection of checkbox.
Selection of checkbox, we are doing it. And then we have a button here.
Button, yeah.
So let's go ahead and implement that. Tell me what needs to be implemented in the Visualforce page. What is the
Apex page block?
Apex page block?
Apex page block section.
Okay. Let's come step by step. What is the first thing that I have here?
The account name field.
Okay, before that,
Button selected accounts.
selected account. So let's go ahead and implement the selected account.
The
Okay,
command button.
command button. Okay. Should I put it in the Apex page block section or should I put it in the outside?
Outside, inside the page block. Yeah.
So what I'll do is I'll use the Apex colon page block. We have something called buttons. Inside this button, I'll use the command called tag is Apex command button. What is the value? Value equal to selected account.
Selected accounts.
Okay. Now next thing. Now, next, what do I have?
Next is the account name inside the section.
Before the account name, what is there?
Tables.
Table. We have two tables. So Apex colon page block table. Okay. In first table, how many columns do I have here? For example, let's assume that I have 3. This is account name and phone number and the fax or billing city. So I have 3 columns. So let's take Apex colon column. Okay. So 3 columns. First column is, what is the column? First one.
Account name.
Name. So let's give value equal to account name. Next one,
Phone.
value equal to account phone. Next one, let's assume billing city. Okay. Now done. What is the second table? Second table also has the same thing. What is the error it is giving? Missing attribute. Page block table. Okay. So page block table is also required some, because it is going to ask some data, value equal to what is the data that it has to look through it. So that part will come later. And this is assume that I have a value. Formula expression. I'm just giving some dummy data here. It's not a proper. var equal to w. Just giving some dummy information here because it is going to, when we are in the loop, we are showing the list of information here, right? So list of information, how we are going to show it is, it has to loop through the each record.
Form.
Apex form. Okay, so let's go ahead and implement the Apex class because it is does not allow this. The reason is why it is not allowing it, because we are displaying the more than one record here. When it is a more than one record, it is a array, right? It is a array. So it has to loop through the each record to display it. So basically for loop, in order to display the data, we have to loop through the each record and print each record here. That means before I come to here, I need to have a proper array list or some data which is storing in the array format. That needs to be stored in some variable, all the list of records, then I can loop inside the table. Now, when I give the dummy information, it is not even accepting that because it is expecting some values, valid information, it is expecting the data. So what we will do is we will first go and implement the Apex class, CL_0809 wrapper for VF. Okay. Now here, what I'll do is, what are the information I need? I need the contact account information, right? So for inside this, I'm going to implement a wrapper class. I'm going to implement a wrapper class inside the class. Now, what is the wrapper class? This is all about storing the account information. Public class, I'll say wrap account. This is the class. Inside the class, I'm writing another class here, right? Now let me go ahead and implement variables here. Inside the account, I need one account details that needs to be stored. Public account, ACCN. Let's assume that this is the account and get and set. I need account data that needs to be stored in this variable called account. Now, next thing which I need to store is whenever the person is selected this checkbox, I wanted to capture this checkbox. So that checkbox details, I'm going to store it into the one Boolean value. So Boolean is selected. Get and set. Now let's save this. Let me comment out this. The below error is disturbing me. So let me comment out this. Let's save. Okay. Now I have two variables here. One is account data, each record, it's not a list. Each record of the account object is stored into this, right? And then I'm going to store the checkbox value into the is selected. Now inside this, we can implement a constructor. we can implement a constructor with the same name. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and implement public constructor name. Then what I'll do is I'll pass the account A, right? This is not a method. It is not a method. It is a constructor method. If it is a method, how it would be? Method is public. I have to give static or non-static, then void or non-void, then I have to give the method name. This is how we declare a method, but this is not the method here. This is not the method. This is the constructor. That means whenever I'm calling this, wrapper account, automatically this constructor gets executed. Now what I'm doing, I'm getting the variable, I'm getting the parameter here from outside, whoever is calling this wrapper account. Whoever is calling the wrapper account on the execution of the wrapper account, on the initialization of the wrapper account, it is going to call this. So whenever it is called, we have to pass the account information. Now, where do I need to store this account information? I have to store it into this. So ACC n equal to A. And by default, I'll say that is selected equal to false. Is selected equal to false. Now this is my complete wrapper. This is my complete wrapper. I need to have a variable declaration. Also, I need to have this constructor, which is going to call exactly the same. And then as soon as the wrapper account is called, then we are going to initialize this ACC n equal to A and is selected equal to false. And this is my wrapper. Now my wrapper is done. Now next thing, what do I need to do? I need to fetch the information. Okay, I need to fetch the information. Why do I need to fetch the information? Because I need to store the 10 records here. And when this should happen, am I clicking anything in order to load this record? No. As soon as the Visualforce page is loaded, then I wanted to show this data. As soon as Visualforce page is loaded, then I wanted to show the data. All right. So that means I need to implement a construct for the class also. The main class also I need to implement a construct. Public. I'll say the same name. And what do we want? So this is basically on load of the Visualforce page. I wanted to get the records. In order to get the records, I need to do the query. Select ID, comma, name, comma. So what else we have? Phone number I have, and then we have a billing city. Billing city from account. How many records I need? Max of max, I need 10 records. Limit 10. I need 10 records. Now, each 10 record, I need to loop it and store the information somewhere. Store the information somewhere, right? So where I'm going to store all this information, I'll be storing into the wrapper. But here, wrapper account is a single. It's not a list. It is a single, it is not a list, right? So what can I do? So what I can do is, this is a single, but I can make it as a list also. So inside the class, what I can do is public. I can say list of wrapper account. I'll say that wrapper, I'll give the name to this wrapper account list. Wrapper account list. Then we'll give get set. It is similar like I have an account, right? I have an account. But if I wanted to convert a list of account, I'll simply use the collection list. Collection list, I'll use it. List of account equal to, then I'll say that new list of account, right? Where I can add all the accounts into the list. Same thing I'm doing it here. I have initialized the wrapper account and I'm going to get all the list of the wrapper account. Assume that this is an object. I have created an object here. Similar like a account object. When I need a list of account, I use the list collection, and inside that I'll use the S object name as account. Same thing I'm doing it here. List of wrapper account. Wrapper account is a object for developer. Now what else I need? I need anything I need here? No. Right now I'm going to store everything into the wrapper account. Right. So what I'll do is, this is the list of records. I'm getting the account records. I'm getting the account records. Now all these account records, I need to store it somewhere. I need to store it somewhere. Where can we store it? We can store it into the wrapper account list. We can store it into the wrapper account list, because on load of the VF page, this gets everything gets executed and it will show the data. Now I'll take this. Now, okay, first thing I need to loop through the account, and each account I need to loop through this. I'll explain this code again, so do not worry about that. So wrapper account list dot, what I'm going to add is adding the each record here. I'll say new wrapper account. And then I'm passing the A. Then I'm passing the A. Now it is going to throw me an error because this wrapper account wrapper account, we are doing the list of wrapper account and then wrapper account list. But did we initialize the wrapper account? We have not initialized it. I'm just declared here. I just declared list using the list collection data type. I just declared it. Now I have to initialize this here. Equal to new list of wrapper account. This is similar, like it is like, for example, if you have a public, okay, if you have a list of account, right, and a account ACC, what I'm doing it, I'm just declaring it here. But later inside the method, if I want this, if I wanted to use this account, what I'll do, first I'll initialize it, ACC equal to new list of account. This is what we do it, right? This is what we do. And I'll first declare it here. Wherever I need it, I initialize this. Because why I do this? Because I do not want to allocate the space here. I do not want to allocate the memory here. I just declared it. I just declared it saying that, okay, there is something is coming there, but do not, right now, do not occupy any memory for this, or right now, do not occupy any space for this. Whenever it is needed, I'm going to say initialize new list of account. That means now this method is going to, this method required this account. Now go ahead and initialize some space for this, because some values are going to store it here. So same thing I'm doing it for the wrapper. Wrapper also I'm doing the same thing. I'm declared here, and then we are using that wrapper account list here, which is initializing it, which we are initializing it, right? I'm storing the information there. Now what else I need? As soon as the user is selected, now this is what is happening here. Right now I'm storing all the information. Right now I'm storing all the information. Now assume that whatever the information are there, it is showing in the first table. Whatever the records I'm getting on, it is storing in the first table, right? So before I do the other things, let's go ahead and use this. So now I have a wrapper account list. So what I'll do is, let's call this VF page here. Apex class, how to call the Apex class in VF page?
Controller equal to.
Controller.
Controller equal to, I'll say this.
Okay.
Okay. Now I have a data that is stored in the list, right? Now I can use that list here. Where can I use it? This is the page block table. Inside the page block table, I can use the wrapper list. I can use the wrapper list. Now inside this wrapper list, right? What else I have? I have all the data that is sitting about the account.name, account.phone number, account.billing city. So same thing, I'm going to use it here. I'll say that ACCN dot name and ACCN dot phone number and ACCN dot billing city. Right? Now let's go ahead and preview. What happened? The first table is going to display. The first table is displaying it and button is also displaying it. Right? But what is missing here? It is missing the checkboxes here. It is missing the checkboxes. Now, how to add a checkbox in the Visualforce page? How to add a checkbox in the Visualforce page? Sorry.
Select checkbox.
Select checkbox. But here we have a something similar like, let's go to the Apex. Sorry, let's go to the, okay, here account. Okay. Inside this account, I have this, right? What is this called? Now I can select, I can do this. What is this called?
Multiple selection.
These are check boxes. These are input checkbox. Multi-selection, definitely it is a multi-selection, but these are called input checkbox. These are called input checkbox. So we are going to use the same thing. So that is, this is in the another column, right? This is in the first column. Account name is in the second column. Account site is the third column. So I need a column here in order to put the checkbox. Apex column. Right? Inside this column, I need input checkbox. Apex column, input checkbox. Now let's save. Now let's go ahead and see the output. Now the checkboxes are came, right? Which I can do multiple selection or single selection, which I can do, right? Now, this is my first table. This is my first table. Now, whenever the user is selecting there, I wanted to capture the information. Where I can capture the information? What is the value that I have here? What is the value that I have here?
Is selected equal to true.
Is selected. So we have to use in the input checkbox where value equal to can I use the is selected directly or do I have to use anything?
Exclamation mark.
Do I need to use anything? Apart from exclamation in anything that we have to use it? What is the page block contains? Is it a single record or list of record? Sorry, what is the page block table contains? Is it a single record in the table or multiple records in the table?
Multiple records.
Multiple records.
Multiple records in the table. So when it is a multiple records, what is my wrapper account list contains? Does it contain list of information or does it contain the single record?
List of information.
List of information.
List of information. When I have a list of information, my columns are only one time I have declared it. I did not declare the row, each row by row displaying it. I did not do that. Right?
Yeah.
So when I have a list of information here, in order to display the data for each record, these are the records, these are the columns. Right? In my Visualforce page, I just have a column declaration. I did not do the record wise declaration. First record display this, second record display this record, third record display this, fourth record display. I did not do that. How am I handling that? Now I have a 10 records here.
So we have to give a name, a variable for it.
We have to give a variable for list.
Yeah.
Is everybody agree that, Sadashiv?
Yes, ma'am.
So variable we have to give. That is the variable that I have declared it here. Right? Now inside this is the whatever columns we have inside this. How can I refer data to show into the each record? I have declared variable as a W. Whatever the list is coming on, and whatever the list is there, for all the list, I declared the variable as W. Whatever the list we are getting it, that list, I declared it the variable as W. Now, this list has complete data. List has a complete data. Now, each record, if I wanted to display it, how can I display? From the array, I wanted to take one by one record and display in the table. Okay. In other way, okay, let's come to the another direction. So for example, I have a for loop. For loop, I'm looping through the list of account here. This is everybody understand this?
Yes.
This for loop, you will be able to understand. Okay. Now inside this, if you wanted to get each record data, for example, I wanted to get the name for, I wanted to print the name here. I wanted to print each record name. So how you will print it? Account list has 10 records. Account list has 10 records. I want each record name I wanted to print. Each record account name.
Get function.
Why get function?
To get that record and display it.
Account A, variable A,
A.
system.debug.
Okay. After the A. Okay, Amala, for your answer, we are not using the collection data type here. Okay, collection data type is nowhere here. Account list is already done. That is a list collection. Okay, so basically I have a list of account and the name for this is a ACC list. What I'm doing it, I'm collecting all the information from SOCL. Okay, which is stored here. Assume that this is select ID from account. Okay, select ID from account. Now I have this information limit 10. Now I have these 10 records inside this ACC list. And what I'm doing it, I'm taking that ACC list here and looping through the each record. I have taken my object name. This is always, this side always will have a object name. Which object or which data type or which primitive data type am I looping to is going to declare by left side. What are the before colon is there, that is declared by which record that we are looping to. That is the account. Now ACC list is the list of records that is captured from the database. ACC list is captured from the database. Now, if I wanted to get, now I have a 10 records here. 10 records names, I cannot print it at a time. It is not possible for me to print all the 10 record names at a time. I cannot print it, right? That is the array. Now, if I want a, out of 10, I want step by step, I wanted to go inside. First, I wanted to go to the first record, get me the first record account name. Then go to the second record and get me the second record account name. So how can I do that? How to get the name from the array for each record?
A dot name.
Amala, Sadashiv.
A dot account list, ACC list.
Amala,
Yeah, A dot name, ma'am. A dot name.
why you are saying account list, Sadashiv?
Because we call every record, right?
Every record, that's what list will have a array. List will have a collection of information. List of records will be stored into the ACC list. But if I wanted to get out of array, I just wanted to get one record information. So for out of 10, okay, out of 10, first I wanted to print the first record name. Then I wanted to print the second record name. Then I wanted to print the third record name, right? Like this, up to 10 record names I have to print step by step. Now, account list already has an array. I cannot take everything at a time together. I have to divide that array into the single records.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to take a dot name. So that's the reason here W is the variable name which contains the list. W is the variable name which has a list of records. What are the list of records I have? I gave the name to that is W. I gave name to it is a W. W is my variable. Now in case if I wanted to get the name, account name, how can I get it from here, from the array? From the array, if I wanted to get the account name.
W dot name.
W dot name, right. So W dot name is the one which we are going to get it. But inside the W, I have two variables. W is nothing but a wrapper account list, right? Wrapper account list. Now wrapper account, what are the variables that it has? It has
Account
only
and
variables. Account and is selected. It does not have a name. It does not have a name directly here. Is there a variable name inside the wrapper account?
No.
It's not there. Here we have a name here. Okay, here we have a In account object, I have a ID comma name. So I can get directly a dot name. But when I'm looping through the wrapper account, does my wrapper account has a variable called name here? It does not there. It's not there. So can I call w dot name?
No.
No.
No. So how can we call the account name? How to get the account name from the wrapper?
So w.accn.name.
Right. w.accn.name. That's what we are doing it. Now here checkbox. How can I call it? If I want a is selected.
w.is selected.
Right. Is everybody clear? Sadashiv?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll rest of the part we'll talk tomorrow. We have to move on the admin. Okay, so I'll repeat this tomorrow again but this is very important. Okay, this is very important how to build the wrapper class. In real time, we use this wrapper class. Wrapper class we use in the real time. Most of the developers most of the developers are like to implement this wrapper class because it is easy to handle for them.
Swapna, is it possible to upload it today before your class tomorrow? I will just, we'll go through it one more time.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the development, admin.
Ma'am, there are 2 videos are missing from the playlist.
What are the videos?
I think oops concept.
Okay. What is the other one?
I don't know, but there are 2 videos missing. One is oops concept is there, which class I missed. No, that lecture is missing.
Do you know the date? When did you missed it?
Day before yesterday.
6th?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see.
Thank you.
Madam, one doubt.
Yeah.
Madam, in Java also it's not supporting multiple inheritance. Instead of that, it's we're going to achieve multiple inheritance concept by using interfaces. When compared to abstract class, like we're also used abstract. We can define abstract class as well as abstract method. So abstract method and interface, because interface only having method signature, with that implementation will be done in the class which implements that interface. But is there any kind of interface concept comes under Salesforce?
No, do not compare the Java concept here.
No. Sales. No. You means beginning of the class, while discussing a previous class also, types of inheritance we listed, and Salesforce is not supporting hybrid inheritance and multiple inheritance, because the behavior, because child class cannot acquire the behavior of 2 parent class.
Right.
Is it right? If I'm not wrong, it's right.
Yeah, that is right.
Then their interface, I'm not comparing with Java, but this also, Salesforce also not supporting multiple inheritance, means how we are going to achieve that concept in Salesforce? It will come in further classes, or I'm asking?
Not have that concept at all. So Salesforce supports only 3 inheritance: single, multi-level,
Okay.
hierarchy.